We're in Abu Dhabi for the showcase final of the Shell Racing Solutions Radical Masters 2010. With 2 days worth of racing and a stellar grid including ex-F1 drivers, upcoming stars of the future and of course royalty, we're looking forward to some amazing racing. So Ben, you deal with all the different spare parts for the Radical cars. You're out here in Abu Dhabi. How difficult has it been getting everything out here and the logistical side of things?
It's been an incredible challenge. It's been a mad rush since our last round at Donington at the end of September. It's all just a blur now. It's just rushing around, 3 guys full time for a week, just packing stuff into crates, writing it down, noting it, changing stuff and all that sort of thing. Trying to make sure we've got enough, and that sort of thing. There's about £200,000 worth of stock here this weekend. My truck at home is now empty, so it's been a nightmare really. It flew last Monday, it left the factory and it arrived here, and just trying to make sure it's all here and together and trying to serve people and whatever else.
And with the heat, what problems has that presented for you, or has it presented any problems?
I think it's going to be cooling stuff and keeping things cool, starter motors, alternators, radiators, drivers, it's brilliant, it's fantastic.
So Jolyon, you've been racing F2 as well. How long have you been racing for Radical?
About 2 hours now. My first set in the car this morning, and I've really enjoyed it so far. The car feels really nice. I mean, it sounds brilliant, and it's quite a lot different to the F2 I'm used to, but no, really pleasant experience so far.
Okay, and what are the main differences from the car that you're used to driving?
Well, it's a lot bigger car. It's bulky, but it's a normally aspirated car, so you have to treat the engine slightly differently, use more revs, and apart from that, it moves around a bit more. It's got a bit less downforce, but it's really fun to drive, and I'm really enjoying the track here as well. So overall, it's been a really good start to the day.
How did you hear about Radical? What made you get into it as well as racing in F2?
I've known about Radical for some time. I've seen them racing and they look impressive around the tracks in England. And I'm looking to test some GP2s out in Abu Dhabi here next month. So I saw that Radicals were coming out and thought it'd be a good chance to try out a Radical and learn the track at the same time.
So Joe, you're the distributor for Radical in Saudi Arabia. Can you tell me a little bit about how it started out here and how you're developing the links with the community out here?
Saudi is like 2 million square kilometers. You have more than 27 million inhabitants in it. And definitely one track is not enough. It's so big, we have to have tracks. And this is the plan, I think, from the Saudi Federation and the strategy from RIM International Circuit also to develop tracks around the region.
Okay. And what are your hopes for Radical in Saudi Arabia for the future?
Well, definitely to be a lucrative business. We started like 3 years ago till now. We're just offering all labor for free, just to support motorsport and support Radical from our side. I think now the next step would be just encourage all the proper teams to bring their own mechanics and really do it like in Europe. I think more cars will be ordered throughout the year, and I think more people will be involved.
Prince Khaled Al Faiza, I hope I've said that correctly. How long have you been racing Radicals?
Actually, it's the first time I'm going to race in a Radical, but I drove it on a couple of tracks, and it's a really nice car, but this is my first race on a Radical.
Okay, and how have you found it so far? Have you been out on the track yet?
No, still. Prince Abdulaziz is out now, just setting the car up. But normally the car, when I drove it in Rim and Riyadh, it was a really amazing car. It's really fun to drive. It's very fast and has a lot of downforce. So you can brake late, and you can your speed in the corner is very fast. So it's really a nice car. So, but now I think it's going to be tough because we're going to be racing with Radical Masters. So in the SR8. So it's going to be a tough race, and it's going to be a really nice experience for me.
Okay, so Jolyon, you've had your first time here at Abu Dhabi on the track. How did you find it today?
I really enjoyed it today. Really impressed with the car and the track as well. And in fact, I can show you around a lap here.
Yeah, that would be great.
So this is just coming onto the start straight, making sure you get a good run. It's one of the longest straights on the track. get up to 5th gear by the end of the straight, and looking towards your braking point, which is just at that curb on the entrance. Down to 2nd, fighting a bit of oversteer there.
How fast are you going? How fast would you be going?
About 100 miles an hour through that one. And then, yeah, up to this turn 2 and 3, it's blind on the entry, and then opens up on the exit, so you can actually carry a lot of speed, and almost flat out actually that corner. And then straight down to this chicane here, clatter over the curbs, that's where the time is. Down to 2nd gear, and this is a bit of a twisty part, slowest part of the track, and down to 1st gear for the hairpin, making sure you get a good run onto the straight. And this is coming up to the quickest part of the track.
And am I correct that that's one of the longest straights in F1?
Yeah, it is, I think. I think this is actually one of the quickest circuits in F1. After Monza and Spa, I think this is a real fast circuit, and hitting 157 I think there we got, and finding the braking zone here. Traffic's been a bit of a problem here today, and you can see there on the lap getting stuck behind a back marker, but that's part of racing, and it's all a challenge. So then you go through the chicane and you're back onto this, the 2nd of 2 long straights, and this one curves slightly, and again just looking towards your brake point, 150 metres down to 2nd, and again it's another tight chicane, fighting oversteer and clattering over the curbs, and all 2nd gear through this bit, and then coming up to a very challenging part of the track, up to 4th gear, triple right-hander, first part of it's flat, and then you're braking for the tight 3rd bit midway through the 2nd apex. So very challenging, and I think we'll probably see some action there in the race.
That would be difficult if there was traffic there as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of points on this track where you don't want to hit traffic, and you can definitely hit it at the right point with the 2 long straights. So traffic's definitely an issue for qualifying in the races, but ultimately it's just luck where you get it. And then that's a good corner, the 2nd last corner, 3rd gear, and yeah, really just sliding it around there. And then back down to 2nd for the last corner, getting a good exit, and back over to start a new lap.
Brilliant, thank you for talking us through that. And is there anybody that you're particularly keen on beating time-wise tomorrow?
Well, I've got some F2 rivals here, Benjamin Bailly and Kelvin Snooks in my SR8 class, so it'd be nice to beat them. But really, I'm just here to have a good time and see what I can do in this new car for me.
Well, good luck for the rest of the weekend. Thank you. And how long have you been racing for?
Well, about 6 years. I started when I was 21 years old, and it's been going on since. So.
And how did you first hear about radical racing?
Well, I lived in the UK for 4 years, so I heard about it there, and then we tried to get this distribution to Saudi, and we did. And it's growing in Saudi very fast as radical. So we've sold 30 cars in 2 years, which is very good for a Saudi market, and only 1 track. And but it's looking pretty promising for the future, hopefully.
Yeah. And what do you think the Middle East needs in terms of motorsport?
I think we need more of the younger generation to get involved in it, and through karting and building karting facilities, proper karting championships. That's what we lack. We've got these amazing racetracks that are Formula One standard, but nothing feeding into them. And I think that's what we need to focus on now, that in the next 10 years we develop a solid base in karting and all of these things. And of course to have the private and the governmental sector put some money into it to help the kids reach to something promising.
Excellent. And what would you say that for somebody who was trying to get into racing for fun as a recreation, or maybe as a serious career, how would you say that radical could help them?
Well, the most amazing thing about the radical cars is that they're easy to drive. They're easy to drive fast, they're cheap compared to cars that are in the same category. Right. And they're easy to run. Anyone can run these cars. And I think that's the unique thing about the radical. And anybody can drive a really fast car. But how easy is it to drive that car? That's what makes a difference. The radical provides that with a very easy car to drive. It gives you the feeling of downforce, of speeds through the corner, which you usually don't get in GT cars, and it's fun. So that's the bonus that Radical has.
Okay, Nick, so I've just managed to grab you. We're getting ready for qualifying. As sales director of Radical, what does being here in Abu Dhabi represent for you?
Well, really, it's a big showcase event. So, to come all the way here and have the support from our sponsors and customers to come so far, it's a great thing to be able to do, to say we come to the ultimate circuit in the world, the newest Grand Prix circuit.
And how do you feel that the sponsors have helped you do this kind of thing and expand worldwide as well?
Yeah, they really do support us in a terrific way. Wherever we go, they travel with us, from West Coast of America to Australia. And so, it's a big logistical issue, really, of getting things out here. But everywhere we go, they support as well and keep upgrading and developing the products.
And has it been a logistical nightmare to get everything out here?
It's been, it's had its time where, it's been difficult on the other.
Challenging.
Challenging, to say the least. But, we got there in the end, and not a part was missing or a car missing, so everyone's very happy now.
Excellent. And for your customers, if somebody was thinking about racing, either to get into it seriously or recreationally, what would you say that Radical can offer them in that respect?
Sure, really just a turnkey experience of, just buying the product, arriving and driving it, and the rest is taken care of. So compared with running a Porsche in a Super Cup, for instance, probably a quarter of the cost. So, very value for money, effective way of racing and going quicker than Porsche.
And how do people go about getting sponsors, and who are the sponsors that Radical can offer them?
Sure, it's a personalised thing with sponsorship. Even F1 have reciprocal deals with sponsors where, you do business with people and you reciprocate in business. So it's a personal thing for most people, and many of our customers are sponsored by their own suppliers or their own businesses.
And where is Radical looking towards next for more expansion?
More Middle East for sure. China still yet to take off fully, and basically we're always looking at new territories, East Europe, etc. So there's many countries still that are waiting to happen.
The first round of qualifying for the SR8 class has just begun here at the Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. This is going to decide who takes pole position for race 1 here this evening. With drivers competing from all over the world and lots of different teams, there should be some very interesting results. So Christian, you've just been out for the first round of qualifying for the SR8 class. How did you get on?
Actually, it went quite well for the first 2 laps, and then the tires just went because it's so hot out there. But others have done a little better, so they must have the same tires, so I guess they're just a little quicker. So we need to try harder in the race.
So I'm your chief mechanic here for Radical, and I see that you've got your overalls on. Are you out there racing today?
Yeah, my boss has finally given me a shot, so got to try and prove what we can do on the circuit. So.
Okay. And have you raced before in these cars?
Yeah, Radical actually employ me to do their test and development work anyway, so I do get to play a little bit, so it's not going to be completely my first time.
You're racing the SR8 class, and you've already been out on the track in qualifying. How did you get on?
I think I get a pretty good lap actually. I did 2:11.2, so it's 8th place. I think it's good. It's a lot of good drivers here today, so it will be a really nice race.
Yeah, it went quite well. Beginning I was a little bit too aggressive, but at the end I had P2, so I'm quite happy that I'm on the first row.
Excellent. And you normally race in F2, so how does Radical racing compare with that?
If I compare it with F2, the car is much easier to drive, but I like it really much. Yeah, it's really fun to drive. Really fun car.
You're about to go into qualifying for the SR3 class. How long have you been racing Radicals?
I've been racing Radicals for the past 20 years probably. When it came to Saudi Arabia last year, I raced in two races for the whole season. Yeah.
Excellent. And what was it about Radical that attracted you towards that type of racing?
Yeah, to me Radical was an excellent product, an excellent car, a combination of engineered, built in racing, and for also added value or value added prices. I mean, if you want compared to other cars, and gives you all the fun, all the thrill, at a very let's call it value for money. I mean, you get really more than what you pay for. And two, they're stable, they're excellent, they're fun, and they're made for racing. That's the most important thing. Instead of modifying my other cars or road and track cars, as they call them, GTs, this is much more fun.
You've come back in from qualifying now. How did you get on?
Not very well. I had a small problem with the gear shift changer, and we just changed the engine last night, so we're just trying to get the car sorted now. So nearly there. Only got one decent lap, which I think was a 2:12, so puts me back in 6th. That's the second qualifying. The first qualifying, again, didn't get out, so I'm at the back of the SR8 grid for that. So I'll just have to suck it and see on the day and see what I can do on the race.
Okay, and in terms of how Radical can help you now with sorting the car out, what are they going to be doing?
Well, I mean, they've done all they can. They changed the engine last night. It was great. The guys worked on. It's just super. So they've done basically everything they can. It's up to me and my team now to sort of get out and do what I can. Yeah.
You were racing at Spa last year and you had a bit of a problem with the car. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, well, the problem was actually a big accident at Monte Blanche at the end of the circuit. The car was basically rode off, chassis damage. So unfortunately it was the race weekend, so we couldn't get it fixed. But luckily Radical had a car in build at the time for another customer. I think it was like a track day car, but it had exactly the same spec as my own. So just by chance they were able to actually finish the car. I mean, it was probably 95% done. But they were able to finish the car. They spoke to the customer, would he wait and take delivery of a different one? He was happy to do that, and they were able to actually bring it out the next day, and I was able to then actually go and race the following day. So amazing from that respect, you know, so you wouldn't get that sort of response from anywhere else, but just lucky for me on that weekend.
So your car's out there on the track at the moment as we speak, isn't it, Don? Who's racing out there for you?
My teammate, Nigel Morrison. He's out qualifying at the moment, and I haven't been speaking to him, but I think he's going okay. I think he's about 9th.
Okay, and how comes you're not out there?
I qualified in the first session, so I qualified I think in 7th or 8th or 9th place as well. Yeah, so we're pretty much the same.
And you're in the SR3 class this weekend, aren't you? How's that been going?
Yeah, I'm in the SR3 class, well, all year, and it's this weekend's pretty hot. A lot of quick drivers, end of season guys coming in. So I'm just glad to get a bit of heat, sun away from Britain. So I'm representing the almost 50s here, so Nigel and I are both the veterans of the class.
You're driving an SR8 today and throughout this whole season. How's the car to drive?
They're absolutely amazing cars, and there's more in the car than I'm able to find at the moment, but they're the best cars I've ever driven, so amazing.
Just behind me you can see the Marina and the incredible Yas Marina Hotel. This is an amazing track. The track actually goes through the hotel itself and the race is done in complete darkness. Of course it's floodlit though, so the drivers can see exactly where they're going. However, they're all heading down to the grid right now, so we need to get down there and see the start of the race. I'm here right in front of the grid, as you can see behind me, all 40 odd of the cars that are going to be racing here today are just getting ready and the lights are about to change. Here we have in pole position just behind me in car number 42, Jordan Groger with AUH Motorsports, and in the Super Sport class we've got the Saudi Falcons' Damien Faulkner. We're looking forward to some incredible and some close racing, so we'd better get off the track. fantastic action already going on during the first part of race 1. We can see that Ross Kaiser, who started as 5th on the grid, has already moved up to 2nd. Let's see if he can keep that speed up and maybe get into 1st. Driver change over there, how's it going?
It's all right, actually. It went quite well. I'm just exhausted. The heat, you know, it's much better in the evenings, but it still is quite challenging.
Still really hot. And do you know what position you're in at the moment?
The what?
What position you're in at the moment?
12th, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to Roger, and thanks for chatting. Thank you. How was the first round, first lap for you?
It's a bit exciting, yeah. I had a few battles with some people, but yeah, very good, yeah.
Excellent. And how do you think you're doing in terms of position?
Hopefully we're still in P3, third, so that's where we took it in.
Is it a bit hot under there?
It is, but it's nice. It's pretty cool compared to what it is during the day. So
it's pretty cool out there.
No, it's well, it's a lot cooler than during the day.
Sure. So you started in pole position for the SR3 class.
Yeah.
How did you get on during that first round?
Yeah, good. It was a little bit scrappy at the beginning because there was some of the slower SR8s getting in our way, and so I lost a place. Unfortunately, but then I got that place back again, and then I pulled away. So I'm not sure how much of a lead I had, but my lap times were fantastic. So.
Oh, great stuff! And do you know what position you're in right now?
No.
Well done!
Yeah,
Congratulations!
really, really good. Thanks.
And are you waiting for Benjamin to come in now?
Yeah, I did the first run and Ben did the second run, and we make no mistakes and everything really well.
Well, that's race 1 over with, and we're here up on the podium waiting for the victors to come out. You can see down there from all the team and the mechanics, Slim Racing is the victor today with Kelvin Snook and Benjamin Bailey. In second place, we've got Terence Woodward and Ross Kaiser, 2 of the champions of this racing series. We're just waiting for them to head out onto the podiums. Hopefully we'll see that bubbly flying very shortly. Congratulations anyway, well done. How did it go for you, Benjamin? I spoke to Kelvin just a moment ago.
Yeah, it was good. Kevin done a good job at the beginning of the race, and I just had to do a good out of the pit, and then they tell me at the radio that I had 12 seconds ahead, so I just managed the lead. They were all on the track, so it was I was a little bit careful at the end. It's good. It's really good time. The radical is fantastic, and here at Abu Dhabi, it's really good.
So, Ross and Terence, the last time I saw you was in a wet and rainy Silverstone. A little bit different conditions here on the track. How's it been for you?
Well, it's turned out a lot better than it started, to be fair, and very different to Silverstone. Obviously, it was a bit wet there, and it's well into the 30s here, so it's great, and obviously fantastic for us to be racing at the Marina circuit. It's definitely something a bit special coming here.
And all the team, we just want to win races, and once you get in that car, you got your head down. You're not really thinking about points or positions. You just want to get in front of the guy that's in front of you.
Zbynek, you're the Czech Republic distributor for Radical. How has it expanded in that area of Eastern Europe?
Quite well. I think that there was a space for cars like these. They are on the edge between, let's say, normally affordable cars and very expensive racing specials. And people love them. We are on the market right now for 1 year. And I think that expansion is fine, but we have to anyway go to the other Central and Eastern Union countries like Slovakia, Hungary. We are pretty active in Poland with Hakan Peterson. So, I mean, business is going well. We are also talking about Central and Eastern European race series that should start on next year. And we are pretty offensive in the area. We have about 40 to 45 events per year. This is our 44th racing event this year. So, yeah, a lot of work.
Mick, you're the head of Benko Freight, and you're responsible for getting all of the cars and all of the spares and everything out here to Abu Dhabi. Was that a logistical challenge?
Well, in fairness, no, quite good. It's quite simple because, now I have to say, Radical, professional company, and a lot of planning in advance, and that helped matters greatly. I don't know if you can see over the back here, we have specialised cases, everything in that. Although they're cars, they fly on the circuit, but they're made really for flying drives, because even the dimensions of the car, everything about the car is made to even fit on an aircraft. Some would say it's luck, but it's not, because in the design of a new model, they'll take that into consideration. So everything really goes well. But in fairness, at this end, Shaquille is out of shot here now, but our partners here in Dubai, without them, it couldn't happen either. We fly, ship, but we fly mainly all the cars through America, Mexico, Australia, Saudi, throughout the Middle East. Most of Europe tends to go by road. But in fairness, they've every corner, Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan, every corner of the world now, Radicals. It's good to see.
Roger, I haven't managed to grab you yet for a chat all weekend. You've been quite a busy bee.
It's been quite a tricky old weekend, really. Lots of organisational issues that to do with the AS circuit, but I've tried to keep my head down and get in the car. The thing is that this weekend is about the race for second and third in the championship. First sewn up, I can't get that, but I can get second and third. So I'm trying quite hard. I'm trying to actually concentrate for once in my life.
And how's the season been for you so far? Is it within your grasp? How's it standing at the moment?
Well, right now I'm in second place, but there's somebody who's nibbling away behind me, which is never a bad thing. And I need to be on my toes for this race. The same in the UK. I finished the UK in second place. How ace would it be to finish round up the European in second place as well? So that's what we're looking for. I have a firm of solicitors that support me, Human Solicitors, and they've been brilliant, supported me since I started in 2004. Additionally, over the last sort of 3 years, I've worked alongside being the UK Works driver in the SR8. So there's, it's still a very expensive game, but there is a little tiny bit of support with them as well. And they, anything they can do, they will do. Lots of, testing, between races and stuff at different places, testing parts. So, between Human Solicitors, my big back pocket, and a bit of support from Radicals, it's been a bit more bearable this year than before.
Well, race 2 is about to start, and because I like standing in slightly dangerous places, I'm here on the pit lane. They're all heading out now onto the grid. There's going to be a grid walk, so we're going to head on down there and try and grab some of the drivers before they set out for race 2. Well, I ventured out onto the grid for the start of race 2. It's a little bit scary with over 40 Radicals there behind me, revving up and getting ready to blast off. In pole position today for the SR8 class, of course, we've got Benjamin Bailey and Kelvin Snook. They're going to be heading off first of all. And for the SR3s, it's the team works driver, Rob Weldon, test driver there. It is going to be a very exciting race, and of course it is the final of the Shell Racing Solutions Radical European Masters. So let's see who's going to be on that podium for the final of this fantastic series. So just been having a quick chat, and yesterday was your first race here in the Radicals, is that right?
Yeah, first race here, a new track to me as well. The car was new to me yesterday for the first qualifying and second qualifying. I qualified second for both, and within the first 2 laps I was leading the race and pulled away by over a second, and the car failed on me. The brake, one of the bleed nipples, come loose from the rear of the car, and I had no brakes on the rear of the car and I had to retire.
That's a real shame. Hopefully today's going to be a bit of a better race. Have you done anything to the car to change that round?
Yeah, we've changed the brakes on the car and starting second again, so hopefully on the first couple laps I can get in the lead and pull away.
You're standing out here on the grid. Is it nerve-wracking? Do you feel nervous right now?
Yeah, obviously we've got quite a mixed field here actually. Obviously Terence and I have raced together for the last 3 years just in the SR8, and I've got quite a lot of previous experience. But there is a mixed field, so there'll be some guys that haven't raced as much, and obviously, especially you come all the way to Yas, it's a long way to come, so obviously you really want to get a decent result.
Okay, well we'll let you get on with your preparation. Thanks, Ross, good luck. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I hear on the grapevine that you're the person to talk to about the Radical social scene.
Well, the Radical are having a do tonight in the hotel, and it should be a good event. And I missed the one last year, which was at Nürburgring, because I couldn't make it. So the one here should hopefully be good fun. So I'm looking forward to it tonight.
So we've got quite a good position out here on the grid.
Second P2, so looking forward to it. Yeah.
And how did it go yesterday?
It was an experience. So definitely I'll watch out today. I had a couple of shunts yesterday, but today should be much better than yesterday.
And how's the car running? Have you been out to practice?
Yeah, I just did 3-4 laps to check the car, and it was okay. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have a podium today.
It looks like Benjamin Bailey is leading by a very long way at the moment. Let's see if he can keep that lead throughout the rest of race 2. already flying there.
Yeah, now I know really well the track, so I feel really good with the car, with the track. We had a good warm-up, short warm-up, but really good. We keep the tires for the race, and I think I'm something like 20 seconds in the lead. So now Kelvin just have to keep the pace, and we're gonna have another win. Hope the car will not break.
Do you know how much further ahead you are from the next driver behind you?
I think about 20 seconds. Last time I heard something it was 18 seconds, so that's...
20 seconds, wow, that's amazing. Well, good luck to Kelvin. Thanks, Benjamin.
Thank you very much.
It's really hard work out there. I think it's hotter than last night. It's really intense. Good racing, you know, lots of close racing, pushing hard. I think I'm getting a bit old, but yeah, no, really good.
How's Ross getting on?
Ross is good, you know, he sits a blistering pace whenever he gets in the car, so car's running a little bit warm. So I think it's warmer tonight than it was yesterday, but fingers crossed he can bring it home for us.
Hopefully, we'll hopefully see you on the podium again later.
Fingers crossed, thank you.
We've been here before.
Yeah, the second time. Yeah, really good, really good. We are really happy that we are here for the second win. Yeah, it was great.
Congratulations, well done. Benjamin spoke to you earlier. How did Kelvin do?
Not bad, not bad. No, he's done a really good job. He managed the traffic really well, and that's really important in that type of race. They are a little bit slower car, and you have to don't crash the car, and he's done a really good job, yeah.
And Kelvin, do you know if you managed to keep the same lead that Benjamin had of about 20 seconds?
Now we lost some seconds with the pit, but I think when I went out, I take my lead back, and I don't 12 seconds back. So yeah, it was quite okay.
Well, it's lucky because you had some time to lose.
Yeah, I need to take overtake really much, so I lose some time with that. But yeah, it's good.
Okay, great, well done. Well, you need to get up to the podium. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah. And how did the team do? The team that were behind you?
On Friday the car was damaged, but they worked really hard for it. So I'm really proud of them.
Well done, guys. Thank you.